ACC basketball returns in prime time on a Wednesday night at NC State. Welcome back to the top 25. The Wolfpack ranked 22nd in America as Davidson comes to town. The 11th meeting all time between these two North Carolina schools, separated by about 2 hours. And a victory last season against Duke, also Wake Forest, but that upset over the Blue Devils sent shockwaves around America, and the bulk of that team, the nucleus, returns here tonight in Raleigh. Rivers taps it to Collier. We are underway at Reynolds. Screen for Brooks. Wolfpack will set up the offense. James, the runner. Count it.
Yeah, she's trouble for everyone because she's so good off the bounce and she's such a good teammate.
Haynes Morgan, Donovan, Charlize Dunn, Millie Pryor representing the starting five tonight for the Wildcats. Out of the Atlantic 10, Charlize Dunn off the back iron from downtown.
And when Saniya Rivers is on the glass, she can initiate. They don't need the outlet pass. It helps them play a little faster offensively.
James Hayes, Rivers, Zoe Brooks, the talented sophomore, in the starting five for head coach Wes Moore. Wolfpack turn it over with a 2-point lead.
One of the things NC State worked on is guarding all the actions, the multiple actions that Gail Folks will put her team in. This is a deceiving record. Out of the A-10, this Davidson team at 3-6.
Rivers in and out. Collier on the offensive glass, swatted out of bounds. And perhaps a little bit more so than the last time I was here in person for a game. I mentioned that to him. He would have none of it. And the three by James.
Well, I think he's excited about where his team can go, right? We're still early December, if you will, right? And you're thinking about conference play, and it's not going to get easy on Sunday when they got to go to Louisville. So you got to get your team ready to go with all the things that you've been emphasizing and the habits that you want them to play with. Offensive plan, and they will attack NC State off the bounce as well.
James with 7, all 7 points.
Aziaha James, I mean, come on. She likes being back in the top 25, I think.
His fan base certainly does after the trip to the Final Four a year ago. Second one all time, first since '98. Izzy Morgan banks it to 3. She's got 6.
She's one of their leaders. She's a senior. She has big game experience. She's not afraid of the moment in here.
Saniya Rivers. 9-8. Hey, if we got this kind of offensive rhythm, let's go.
Let's do it. All offense. Forget about playing any D. We don't care about that.
It's a different story last night, the game we called over Cameron. Offense was at a premium.
Good switch there by NC State.
Inside, Charlize Dunn.
Tell you what, Gail Folks, I've known her for a long time. She's got her team ready to go.
You mentioned conference play. It starts this weekend, as in Sunday. ABC matchup with Louisville on the road to the Yum Center. Here comes James. Wildcats have to hurry. Here's Dunn, the step back from 15. It's all net.
What's really challenging this team today about is playing harder and not giving up soft stuff.
Brooks tried to spin it in. I classified that as animated. You said, well,
you got to know Wes, right? He doesn't get upset that often.
No.
And how upset can you get when you're wearing your dress shoes and shoot around? And he doesn't want to take the time to change into sneakers. He thinks he's fine in those dress shoes.
Morgan gets the bounce. 8 points on the board for number 4 in black. So the Izzy Morgan, Aziaha James show thus far. Wildcats by 3. James again.
Tech, baby, come on!
I know where the ball's going the next time down the floor.
It should.
The response on the other end by Dunn. Some outstanding offense to start. As a result of the final day of examinations concluded. Awu was tied up, and let's see, did they call the foul? I believe so. Awu just 6 of 21 at the line this season. At 7 of 22. All headed your way, Saturday.
You're going to play Florida State. You got to play them early. Leonard Hamilton's team is going to get better. It's their style of play, really. It's the way they play. I'm always busting Wes about his shoes. He's the only coach in America that shows up with dress shoes. Awu's got to hold that position in post. She's got the size advantage.
Baseline jumper. Aziaha James Aziaha James, impressive start. Just 2 off her season average. A lot of basketball left here at Reynolds. Pops back out to Morgan. That's a 3.
Look at Rivers' rebound.
She's got a different gear in the open floor. James to Cox. Off the pump fake. Twice. Lays it in. Tied at 19. Morgan already with 10. Outside to Dunn. Morgan gets it back.
Got a win over Wake, an almost against North Carolina last year, right? Look at her stat line already. This is a player that understands what I call the 3 W's. Who to get the ball to, when and where. And when NC State keeps going under all that ball screen coverage, she's going to keep shooting it.
She's Debbie Antonelli. I'm Roy Philpott. Glad you could join us tonight at Reynolds Coliseum. Davidson, first touch to begin our second quarter. Pryor. Boy, bevy of moves in the paint.
Well, when you've got 6'6" in there, that's a lot of size to score over the top. You got to go around 6'6".
And it's Tilda Trieger, who has checked in, the freshman from Sweden, protecting the rim for NC State. Hayes, top of the key. You mentioned Davidson, the 3-6 record, deceiving. What has led them down the path of 6 early losses, in your opinion?
I think injury, out of rotation, that's mainly what it's been. They are a talented team. That is a good league in the A-10. Richmond and St. Joe's are fantastic. And Aziaha James is going to carry the whole freight right now.
Izzy Morgan, another touch. Wants to shoot it. Up and under, no. And a scrum on the deck and a foul call.
The footwork's good down there.
James in that sequence with the step back 3. Back without a single point now in the last 3 minutes. Under 6 to go in the half. Rivers bangs it in.
Aggressively on the defensive end, and she's coming at you off the bounce. Everything about her is aggressive.
Lenafa off the mark. Wolfpack clear. Here comes James. Aziaha James. The crossover. The turnaround. And she was fouled.
Because there's not an offensive play concept.
The senior from Virginia Beach. 18 points. And will stay there on the missed free throw. Well, folks, coming to Davidson from Wake Forest. She was an assistant under Jim Hoover there. Step back 3, and that'll break the string. Done. In double figures. Lead back down to 1. Collier operating on the low block. Rejected. Boy, we've seen Pryor be active defensively thus far. Millie Pryor, the senior from Australia, part of the core of this group for the Wildcats.
They went a little clear out right here.
Pryor bottled up that time. Morgan, another triple. Davidson back in front.
If they decide they want to pick up the pressure, maybe here in the last minute they will.
Saniya Rivers aggressive, fouled.
I mean, like, I would rent out a movie theater to listen to Wes teaching and getting his team ready.
He's so detailed in every aspect of the game. Just 5 minutes of one of his shoot-arounds. Every inch of the floor, I feel like, is accounted for.
Maybe that's a good NIL idea for Wes. He can rent out a movie theater, and maybe people would pay to come and hear him break down the game. What do you think?
I think you're one of the more creative analysts I've ever worked with. I'm learning this about Debbie Antonelli, the Hall of Famer. Rivers.
A basket in the paint, powered up. I mean, I asked Wes about playing with 5 guards, and, you know, at some point, you're going to play teams that have size. You got to develop your post players, and he knows that, and he's trying. As Davidson will take the last shot here of the second quarter.
Rivers with 7. James with 18. And here comes Saniya Rivers. Deep triple. And the Wolfpack a 1-point lead at the halfway point at Reynolds.
And there are going to be Bill Belichick, I'm sure, lined out what he would do and what he won't do as the football coach.
In 400 pages, no less.
He's got a well-read agent. Let me say that. I think it's going to be interesting. Experience or experiment, Roy? We'll see.
I don't know the answer to that, but I love the question. Live action, NC State, the first possession. Madison Hayes, too strong.
Well, I can't wait to meet him, I'll tell you that.
Well, I do think there's going to be a Coach Prime effect in the ACC where everybody's going to want to watch North Carolina games. And there's going to be premium announcing teams sent to Chapel Hill. And it's going to be an enormous deal. And the ratings are going to be through the roof. Not a bad thing for the league.
No, good for the business of the league, right? Now, we'll see if he resorts back to his old press conference ways or if he's engaging with those that want to interview him. Certainly that has to be a part of the 400 pages, right?
I think so. Hayes draws the contact.
When you start talking about what they're going to do with the Smith Center and why that could be a huge NIL.
At 2, maybe 3.
Got to find some money somewhere.
Well, I was going to say a lot of questions asked there, and Bubba Cunningham certainly doing his due diligence, as did the Board of Trustees in Chapel Hill. A runner rolls in for Izzy Morgan.
I mean, she's been aggressive.
Aziaha James, a good look to Cox. Turns it over. Couldn't handle the heat.
So Aziaha James in her mind is going, that's 2 times I've tried to make plays for my teammates. I'm going to shoot it the next time. That's the way scorers think.
That's what I would do. Cox will pick up Pryor. Physicality inside.
He's working on a double-double.
Dunn left wide open. Launches a 3 and splashes that one home. 11 lead changes now. Stolen. Dunn has Donovan ahead of her. Charlize Dunn going to take it coast to coast.
More of half of Davidson's shots have come outside the arc.
Rivers connects. Rivers with 9. Lead down to 2. Jasmine Timerson retreats. Halfway through the 3rd. Donovan outside. Brew Dunks connects from downtown.
So let's see if she can get established on the baseline. Look at the sense of urgency. See the pace picking up a little bit right here? They got to accelerate through their actions and be a little bit more aggressive like that. I expect them to speed it up right here.
2 for 2 for Hayes.
I mean, if it impacted the play, I know it's the rule, but it drives me nuts. Like if it's not impacting the play.
Morgan left open for a second, makes him pay.
Let's see what Gail Folks does. Goes exactly back to the same set. You got to have high hands on the shooter.
Rivers penetrating and finishing.
There's no answer for that if Saniya Rivers decides she's going to turn the corner. Now they got to be productive in this tempo.
Izzy Morgan.
Jones is just getting beat. That's a defensive play. Back to back. They're picking on her, the freshman right now.
Debbie Morgan has 20 points. She came in averaging just over 7 per game.
Well, one of the things that Gail Folks talked about is keeping her out of foul trouble.
And Hayes back at it. And for Gail Folks.
I spent some time with you. Got to practice it. You got to have a point guard that knows time and score. Coach Folks slowed him down because she wants the right shot and a good shot, not a quick one.
Seven to shoot. Cats on the move, up and in. Leonafa, her first bucket, leading scorer for the Wildcats this season, held in check tonight. Good look inside. Saniya Rivers. Cats got to go. And a desperation heave, well short. Well, it's been 50 years, 5 decades since Davidson has beaten NC State.
I was not on that team, in case you were thinking it.
I was not thinking that, nor was I going to ask that. Cats have it to start our 4th quarter. Morgan and Dunn, they have been the story. Aziaha James has been the story for State, at least in the first half, and Rivers now in the second. The block, 3 to shoot. And a foul with the body. It's going to be called on James. So State gets it back. Here's Rivers, too strong. Off of Hayes, she corrals it. And now James. She'll get it back again. Rolls it down. 44-42.
Aziaha James has not had a basket since the 8:56 mark in the 3rd quarter. They need to put the ball in her hands right now.
Got 20 points. Free throws coming for Pryor.
And look at her defensive contributions. She's been active on the defensive end, protecting inside out. This is a possession-for-possession game. Yeah, you got to execute here.
Rivers spins it in. 15 on the board for Saniya Rivers. Morgan off the mark. Rivers fouled from behind. Promptly drew an assignment on James and picked up the personal. Rivers are clearing.
Weight room.
Pack have increased its defensive tenacity these last 3 possessions. The floater.
Clear it out for James.
James on Donovan, force one up.
Good D.
Hayes ripped away the rebound and was fouled in the process. Hayes with 6 points, 9 rebounds. ACC PM, of course, with Mark Packard, Taylor Tannenbaum, weekdays at 4 Eastern. Right here on the ACC Network, also on the ESPN app.
NC State only with 1 team foul.
James tried to spot Cox, couldn't do it. Contested pass, and the arrow gives it back to the Wildcats. Pryor remains on the bench for Davidson. Change that last foul.
Now you want to keep her over there on that side of the floor. Keep the ball on that side of the floor.
3-pointer all net. Maddie from deep, her 3rd triple of this season, her first points of the night. And it comes at a critical time. Davidson by 3. Rivers operating at Highland District, gets it back again, up and in.
NC State ball 1-on-1, and Rivers just backs her defender into the rim and makes a nice offensive play with her athleticism.
Rivers with 19, James with 20. Timerson off the mark. Tracked down by Brooks.
Wise decision by Zoe right there. Pull it back out and attack.
And a chance for 3. Rivers, Zoe Brooks trying to complete the 3-point play. First points of the night. Pryor back on the floor. Connects.
Penetration off the bounce by NC State, but 1 assist is a little low. That means that there's no one making a play for anyone else.
Rivers from James. Back to the basket, in and out, gets it back, up and in. Wolfpack back in front.
I can tell you right now, Saniya Rivers wants to win.
.21 on the board for number 22. Corner 3, no. Hayes clears. Her 12th rebound. Check out her 10th to go along with 7 points. Saniya Rivers a double-double. She has 11 boards. Foul from behind. Started every game this campaign once again for head coach Wes Moore. 2 of 2 at the stripe. Hayes rejected that pass out of bounds. Stepping out is Davidson. Wolfpack with a 4-point lead and possession. Rivers will try to change that. 25. Stayed with its largest lead. Pryor the spin. The pump fake. Off the glass. Brilliantly done inside.
Keep him out of the paint.
Rivers wants to get there, and she does. Off glass. Too strong.
Good D by Izzy Morgan.
Two-possession game.
I'd say the same thing about this kid right here, number 4 in black. What a game.
Crunch time at Reynolds. There's a steal by Rivers. And Saniya Rivers wisely will slow the pace.
Saniya Rivers, 4th quarter.
One minute remaining.
7 on the clock.
Down to 3. James gotta go. And a shot clock violation that did not graze the rim. Wolfpack start conference play on Sunday at Louisville. Big finish at Reynolds. Donovan open. That's a 3.
You pinch and help on the post, and you leave the triple open. That's why you can't help in the post.
Coming off a career-high 19 points. That is the first bucket of this game for Katie Donovan.
No fouls to give.
Shot clock under 10. Saniya Rivers. Picked up by Morgan. There goes Saniya. The jump stop. The pivot. Short. Davidson has it, and the shot clock is off. Gail Folks will utilize a timeout to set up a potential game-winning play.
You got to get them on the dribble down, not on the dribble up. Because the dribble up gets them into the rhythm of their shot. The dribble down is when you want to foul.
That's a lot of thinking.
Now, look, I know, but you got to practice it. Situations, and for Gail Folks, I am making a direct feed into the scoring area.
Donovan to inbounds for Davidson, trailing by 1. Here comes Pryor.
There's 1. Good foul by Cox. Consider inbounding it in the scoring area. They're going to, I heard Gail Folks tell her team run the same play.
And another quick foul. No more fouls to give for NC State. Davidson will inbound it. It's Donovan. Dunn thought about it. Now going baseline inside. Short. 2.1 seconds to go, and they're going to take a look at that sequence. NC State came down with a rebound.
That is a great job by Saniya Rivers to get her hands on the basketball here.
So we'll add 0.3 of a second back. NC State gets it with a 1-point lead.
This is where NC State called timeout so they could advance the ball. You're still fouling right away if you're Davidson.
James gets it, fouled immediately. Pressure-packed moments for this NC State team back in the top 25. Clutch. She tried to miss that one intentionally. So 1.9 seconds to go. The lead at 2. 59-57. Davidson's got to go the full length of the court. to Dunn. Gotta go. Desperation and short. NC State survives. A 2-point win, 59-57 for the Wolfpack.
Well, now I understand why Aziaha James was trying to miss it, because Davidson did not have a timeout remaining. So if you miss it, it would have taken time off the clock. They would not have had an opportunity to score. This is a heck of a game here in Raleigh tonight.